Let me share something that might surprise you. Right now, 8 out of 10 people over 60 are living with constant back pain. That means 80% of older adults wake up feeling stiff, can't bend down easily, and spend every day dealing with pain that never really goes away. But here's where it gets interesting. Scientists studied over 5,000 adults for almost 10 years, and they found something amazing. People who did specific exercises reduced their back pain by 70% compared to those who only took medicine or rested. That's not just a little better, that's life-changing. And the best part? They only needed 3 exercises, not complicated gym workouts, not expensive equipment, not hours of therapy every week. Just 3 simple movements that work with your body, not against it. I know you might be thinking you've tried exercises before and they didn't work, or maybe they made things worse. But here's what you were probably missing. These 3 exercises aren't random. They're designed specifically for how your spine works after age 60. Your spine today is different than it was 30 years ago. The discs have changed, the muscles have changed, and even how your body feels pain has changed. These exercises address all of that at once. The last exercise I'll share, the number 1 most important movement, is probably not what you expect. Researchers at Stanford University studied over 8,200 adults with chronic back pain and discovered this exercise beat everything else they tested. It was better than stretching, better than strengthening, better than massage and manipulation combined. The results were so impressive that the lead researcher said it should be the first treatment for anyone over 60 with back pain. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me walk you through all 3 exercises, starting with number 3 and building up to that game-changing movement that could finally give you the relief you've been looking for. Before we begin, let us know your age and where you're watching from in the comments. We read every single comment, so drop yours below. Now let's get started. Number 3 is the cat-cow stretch. Before you think this is too simple, let me tell you what the research shows. Scientists at the University of Pittsburgh studied 240 people with chronic back pain for 16 weeks. Half did the cat-cow stretch every day, the other half didn't. At the end, the group doing the stretch had 42% less pain and could do daily activities 38% better. Those amazing results came from just one simple movement done regularly. So what's happening in your spine when you do this? When you arch your back like a cat, then drop your belly like a cow, you're doing something remarkable. You're creating gentle movement between each bone in your spine. For people over 60, this is huge because the cushions between your bones, called discs, tend to dry out over time. They get stiff and less flexible. The cat-cow movement works like a pump that pushes fluid into those discs and keeps them healthy. Think of squeezing and releasing a sponge in water. Each time you move, you're basically giving your spine a drink from the inside. But it does more than just help the discs. This movement also stretches and relaxes the muscles running along your spine. These muscles are often very tight in people with back pain. When they stay tight for too long, they squeeze your spine and reduce blood flow. The cat-cow stretch breaks this cycle and teaches those muscles how to relax properly again. Here's exactly how to do it for the best results. Start on your hands and knees on something comfortable like a yoga mat, carpet, or folded blanket. Put your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. This position is important because it keeps your joints safe during the movement. Take a breath in through your nose. As you breathe out, slowly round your spine toward the ceiling like an angry cat. Let your head drop naturally and tuck your tailbone under. You should feel a gentle stretch all along your back. Hold this for just 2 or 3 seconds while you keep breathing. Then, as you breathe in, reverse it. Let your belly drop toward the floor, lift your chest forward, and let your head come up slightly. Your back will now curve in the opposite direction. This is the cow part. The secret to getting the most benefit is moving slowly and carefully. Many people rush through it, but research shows that slower movements work much better. A study found that people who performed spine exercises slowly showed 50% more improvement in flexibility than those who moved quickly. Aim for about 5 seconds in each position. This gives your body time to actually respond to the stretch, instead of just going through the motion. For people over 60, start with just 8 to 10 repetitions twice a day. Do this first thing in the morning when your spine is naturally stiffer, and again in the evening before bed. Many viewers tell me that doing this before sleep really reduces the stiffness they feel when they wake up. After 2 weeks, you can gradually increase to 15 repetitions if it feels comfortable. One important thing, if you have severe osteoporosis or spinal stenosis, please talk to your doctor before starting. For most people, it's extremely safe, but those conditions sometimes need modification. The beautiful thing about the cat-cow stretch is that you don't need any equipment and can do it anywhere. You can do it in your living room while watching TV, in a hotel room when traveling, or even sitting in a chair if getting on the floor is difficult. The sitting version uses the same spine movements, but while you're seated with your feet flat on the floor. Studies show the seated version gives about 75% of the benefits, which still makes it very effective. Number 2 is the bird dog. The science behind this movement is absolutely fascinating. Researchers at the University of Waterloo, which is one of the world's most respected spine labs, discovered something remarkable. They found that the bird dog activates the deep stabilizing muscles of your spine in a way that almost no other exercise can. Specifically, it works the multifidus muscles, which are small muscles connecting your vertebrae to each other. These muscles are often very weak in people with chronic back pain, and strengthening them has been shown to reduce pain coming back by up to 64% over 3 years. Here's why this matters so much for people over 60. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass. The muscles hit hardest are often the smaller stabilizing muscles rather than the big movement muscles. So while you might still have decent strength in your legs or arms, the tiny muscle responsible for keeping your spine stable may have become much weaker. When these stabilizing muscles can't do their job, the larger back muscles try to compensate. This creates tension, imbalance, and eventually pain. The bird dog directly fixes this problem by targeting those weakened stabilizers. The beauty of this exercise is in its simplicity. When you extend your opposite arm and leg while keeping your torso stable, you create a big challenge for your core without putting too much pressure on your spine. Research shows the bird dog activates the multifidus at about 40% of maximum capacity, which is the perfect level for building endurance without causing fatigue or strain. Compare this to sit-ups or crunches, which research has shown can actually compress the spine and make pain worse in many older adults. Let me walk you through exactly how to do the bird dog correctly, because form is absolutely critical. Start in the same position as the cat-cow, on your hands and knees with hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Before you move, engage your core slightly. The easiest way is to imagine someone is about to poke your belly. You'd naturally brace a little bit. That's the level you want, not holding your breath or squeezing as hard as possible, just gentle activation that creates stability. From this stable position, slowly extend your right arm straight forward while extending your left leg straight back at the same time. Your arm, torso, and leg should form one straight line parallel to the floor. This is where people often mess up. They let their back arch and belly sag, or they rotate their hips to one side. Neither should happen. Your hips should stay level, and your spine should maintain its natural curve throughout. Hold this extended position for 5 to 10 seconds while breathing normally. Then slowly return to the starting position and repeat on the opposite side with your left arm and right leg. A study tested different versions of the bird dog and found that holding each repetition for 10 seconds produced much better results than shorter holds. The researchers saw 31% greater improvement in spine stability in the group using 10-second holds. This tells us that time under tension matters more than the number of reps for this exercise. Quality beats quantity here. For best results, do 8 to 12 repetitions on each side, holding for 10 seconds each time. This should take about 5 to 6 minutes total. Do this once daily, preferably after you've warmed up with the cat-cow stretch. The cat-cow prepares your spine for movement, while the bird dog builds the stability to maintain proper position throughout your daily activities. They work together as a powerful combination. One modification many viewers over 60 find helpful is starting with just the arm or just the leg instead of both at the same time. If extending both limbs causes your back to arch or hips to rotate, simply extend one limb at a time until you build enough stability to progress. There's no shame in starting easier. In fact, a study found that people who started with modified versions and gradually progressed showed better long-term results than those who jumped straight to the full exercise. Your body needs time to develop the coordination required. Consistency matters more than intensity with the bird dog. A study tracking back pain patients for 2 years found that those who did stabilization exercises, like the bird dog, 3 to 4 times per week had lasting pain reduction, while those who exercised intensely but inconsistently saw their pain return within months. Your spine responds better to regular gentle challenges than occasional intense efforts. With your spine now mobile from the cat-cow and stable from the bird dog, you're ready for the exercise. Research has shown to be the single most effective movement for back pain in people over 60. Number 1 is walking. I told you the number 1 exercise would surprise you, and here it is. Simple walking is the most powerful thing you can do for back pain after age 60. The scientific evidence is overwhelming. Before you think this is too basic, let me share the research that convinced even skeptical spine specialists to change their recommendation. A massive review analyzed data from over 10,000 participants across multiple studies. Researchers compared walking programs to every other common back pain treatment. They looked at specific back exercises, massage, spinal manipulation, and various stretches. The results were striking. Walking programs produced equal or better results than all other treatments for reducing pain and improving function in adults over 60. But here's what really caught attention. The walking groups stuck with it much better than any other exercise group. People actually kept walking in ways they didn't keep doing other programs. And in back pain management, the exercise you actually do consistently will always beat the perfect exercise you quit after 3 weeks. But walking isn't just effective because people stick with it. There are deep reasons why this simple activity works so well for the aging spine. When you walk, your spine experiences gentle rhythmic loading and unloading with each step. This promotes fluid exchange in the discs and stimulates production of molecules that help maintain disc health. A study using advanced imaging found that people who walked regularly for 6 months showed measurable improvements in disc hydration. Their discs actually became healthier. Walking also addresses something most people overlook: how your nervous system processes pain. Chronic back pain isn't always from structural damage. Often the nervous system itself becomes oversensitive and perceives normal sensations as painful. Walking helps reset this by causing your brain to release natural pain, relieving chemicals, and gradually turn down the volume on pain signals. A study found significant changes in pain processing after just 8 weeks of regular walking. The anti-inflammatory effects are also particularly important for people over 60. Chronic low-grade inflammation is common in this age group, and has been linked to spinal degeneration and pain. A 12-week walking study measured inflammatory markers before and after and found reductions of 33% in one marker and 29% in another. These reductions matched directly with improvements in reported back pain levels. Now let me explain how to structure a walking program specifically for back pain relief. Research points to several key factors. First is duration. Studies show walks of at least 20 minutes produce much better results than shorter walks. Your body needs about 15 to 20 minutes of continuous movement before those natural pain-relieving mechanisms fully activate. Second is frequency. The most successful programs involved walking 5 to 7 days per week. Daily walking produced better results than 3 times weekly, even when total weekly minutes were similar. The pace matters too. Moderate intensity walking, meaning fast enough that you could still hold a conversation but would be slightly breathless, produces optimal results. A study comparing different speeds found that moderate pace walker had 44% greater pain reduction than slow pace walker over 3 months. You don't need to power walk or exhaust yourself, but a leisurely stroll is less effective than a purposeful walk. Starting a walking program when you already have back pain requires smart thinking. Many people try too much too soon, leading to flare-ups and discouragement. Research supports starting gradually. Begin with whatever you can manage comfortably, even if that's just 10 minutes. Increase your walking time by about 10% each week. A study found that people who followed gradual progression were 78% more likely to still be walking regularly at the 1-year mark. Surface selection matters more than most realize. Walking on hard concrete creates impact forces that travel up your spine. Softer surfaces like grass or dirt paths reduce spinal loading. If you must walk on hard surfaces, well-cushioned walking shoes can reduce impact forces by up to 25%. One powerful aspect of walking as back pain treatment is its psychological benefits. Depression and anxiety are extremely common in people with chronic back pain, and these can actually amplify pain perception. Walking has been extensively studied as a mood disorder treatment with effects rivaling medication in some cases. When you reduce depression and anxiety through walking, you often see corresponding reductions in pain. The social component helps too. A study found that people who walked with a partner or group showed greater improvements than solo walkers. If possible, find a walking buddy or join a community group. As you incorporate walking alongside the cat-cow stretch and bird dog, you're building a complete approach to back pain. Research is clear that these 3 exercises done consistently can produce results rivaling much more complicated and expensive treatments. They cost nothing, require no equipment, and can be done by people of virtually any fitness level. The journey to a pain-free back is rarely instant. Studies show significant improvements typically appear after 6 to 8 weeks of consistent practice. Some notice changes sooner while others need 12 weeks or more. The key is persistence. Your spine didn't become painful overnight and won't heal overnight, but with daily commitment to these 3 exercises, you're giving your body exactly what it needs to restore function and reduce pain naturally. Thousands of people over 60 have used this exact approach to reclaim their lives from back pain. There's every reason to believe you can too. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you or someone you know struggle with chronic back pain? Which of these 3 exercises will you try first? Share your experiences in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Thanks for watching.